One question haunts survivors. Did they ever love me?
You know what? There's a question almost every survivor asks. Sometimes out loud, but most of the time quietly, late at night, after the relationship ends, after the chaos settles, after the anger fades. The question in itself is simple, but it carries a lot of weight. The question being, did they ever really love me? Not did they care, not did they enjoy the relationship, but love. Real love. Because when you look back at everything, the affection, the promises, the connection, the moments where it felt real, you start wondering, was any of that genuine? Or was I just being used? And believe it or not, that question can trap people for years. Because if the answer is no, it feels like the entire relationship was fake. And if the answer is yes, then the abuse becomes even more confusing. So today we're going to talk about the truth, not the angry version, not the revenge version, the honest version. Here it is. They did feel something, but what they felt was not healthy love. It was attachment. And those two things are very, very different. See, healthy love says, I care about who you are. Narcissistic attachment says, I care about how you make me feel. And that difference explains almost everything that happened in your relationship.
It felt like love, but it functioned like supply.
So let's talk about what they actually loved. Because many narcissistic partners did experience strong emotion. The intensity was real. The passion was real. The connection in the beginning often felt electric. But what they were connecting to was not your identity. It was your function. Think about the early stage of the relationship. You admired them. You supported them. You believed in them. You gave them attention. You gave them validation. You gave them emotional energy. And that felt incredible to them. Because narcissistic personalities rely on something called narcissistic supply. Supply means admiration, attention. It means validation, energy. When you are providing that supply, when you're providing them with that, they felt amazing. And because they felt amazing, they actually believed the relationship was amazing. But notice something important. The relationship felt best when you were giving, when you were supporting, when you were admiring, when you were uplifting them. But what happened when the roles shifted? What happened when you needed support? What happened when you were struggling? What happened when you grew? Hey, what happened when you started shining? That's when the energy changed. That's when the tension appeared. That's when the criticism started. That is when conflict suddenly showed up. Not because you stopped being lovable, but because the supply dynamic changed. They loved how you made them feel. But loving someone as a person actually requires seeing them as equal. It requires celebrating their growth. It requires caring about their well-being even when it doesn't benefit you. And that's where narcissistic attachment, that's where it struggles.
They loved the feeling, not the person.
Now, here's the part I want survivors to hear clearly. Just because they struggle to love in a healthy way does not mean your love was fake. Your care was real. Your loyalty was real. Your commitment was real. You were not pretending. You were not manipulating. You were not performing. You were actually loving someone the way healthy people love. Which is why the relationship felt so meaningful to you. Because you brought real love into it. You brought real love into the equation. But here's the truth that actually sets people free. You can love someone deeply and still be in a relationship that was never healthy. You can care about someone, you can believe in someone, you can give your heart to someone and discover that they were not capable of loving you the same way. That realization hurts, but it also brings clarity. Because once you understand that their attachment was about how you made them feel, you stop blaming yourself. You stop asking, why wasn't I enough? You stop wondering, what could I have done differently? The answer is simple. You were never the problem. You were loving someone who didn't know how to love in a healthy way. And I guess understanding that breaks the trauma bond. Stay powerful. Keep healing. Love you guys.
You loved for real. That's why it hurt.